Hi guys, so Jess here. I am going to show you all another video here. It's available on the channel for anyone who wants to go watch it for themselves. So this video is 6 minutes 25 seconds long. I don't know if I really want to show all of the video, if it's even necessary. Maybe not. Anyway, okay, so it's Old Baraboo Inn, and yes, we did an SB7 box session where I did the Estes method. Mind you, in this time frame, this is like my favorite method, and I know it is so not liked, but it was my favorite method. And I go through it and I like to explain how I use it. So you'll notice a lot of investigators today, using the spirit box, they'll talk about what the device does and stuff. One of the things that I've always noticed is they always set it at the slowest sweep. So I always set my sweep because yes, it is a radio that's going to throw jumbled noise at you. And it's supposed to go through the sweeps. But I'm noticing a lot of investigators, when they're using the SB7 box, they're always setting the sweep to the slowest setting. And man, I'm going to have to do some cutting. I'm almost tempted to go get, I'm going to go get my SB7 box. I'm curious, what the slowest setting is. Man, do I really got to put new batteries in this thing? Just to prove a point. Okay. I have returned with the SB7 box. So this is the device that you'll see a lot of paranormal investigators use. You've even seen investigators, popular investigators, what do they refer to? What do they refer to as now? Project Fear even uses the SB7 box. One thing that I've noticed that people tend to do now when they use the SB7 box is they're not going at the fastest sweep, which is 100 milliseconds. And I don't know if you're able to actually see that. Okay, so that is the fastest setting that you can have it on, which is 100 milliseconds. So what is the slowest sweep that they do for? $350. $350. So I don't know if you can actually, if it's really showing up there, if you can even see that top little bracket where it says 350. But if you can hear that sound, that is literally the slowest sweep that you can do on the box. And I noticed that a lot of investigators are setting it to that setting. That gives these so much time to put in 4 to 5 words. Maybe. I guess I haven't really timed it. I mean, it just gives it time to say more words than what it's supposed to. When it's set at the 100 millisecond marker, all that's supposed to be coming through is little blimps. Because it's happening. The sweeps is happening so fast. So the theory is, using these radio sweeps, going as fast as they are, words are not supposed to be able to come through. That's what I liked about using the SB7 box, was trying to communicate and for an experiment and see if we could actually get full-on sentences breaking through the radio sweeps. I've used this device for 8+ years now. I've had the SB7 box a long time. The SB11, I'm going to tell you right now, with the 2 channels, that thing's awful. It's horrific. My cousin got one, and that thing lasted a week before it even, like, broke. And she spent so much on that device. And she's just like, I can't believe it. I haven't even had it this long, and it's already defective. Like, it's a load of junk. Quite frankly, I'm anymore of the firm opinion that most of our devices that we are using, they're all just pretty much junk anymore. Like, overpriced junk. Yay! But back to this video. So, me and my husband, we got invited to go to the Old Baraboo Inn, and it was an event, and it was a fun event. We decided we were going to try doing the spirit box session in here. And what I didn't anticipate to come through, this is where I really want some help, because I have messed with the SB7 box time and time again. But what we didn't anticipate to happen here, like, I'll play it and then I'll talk about it a little more. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say, like, yeah, you can tell that I was just mind blown. I never had this happen before.
Okay, do you know what I'm about to do here? I'm gonna do this.
It does sound really quiet. I'm sorry.
What do you want me to do? Exactly what you're doing. What you're doing is perfect. Okay.
What do you want me to do? You're doing great, babe.
Death. I'm gonna go. A few people died.
Oh yeah, and that voice that you hearing, like, talking right now is we were experimenting with the phone apps, mind you. We don't buy into it, but we were experimenting with it and playing with it to see if like the app would actually be able to spit out words that actually correlated with the location. Where is it? I think it was this one, wasn't it? Yeah, it was this one. It was the necrometer that we were messing with. Turn that bad boy on. What happens? Can I just shake it and it'll start talking to me? Hello? Oh, necrometer! Give me your wisdom. Shake it like an 8-ball and tell me what you're thinking. That is how it works, right? You just shake it and it starts spitting words at me.
Phantom train tracks.
Phantom train tracks? No way! Shake it again. I learned this little trick. Like, apparently when you move your phone around enough, it starts spitting out words. Like, pretty much all these phone apps do. I've got Necrometer does it. Can I back out now, please? So I've got Necrometer. I've got the Spirit Talker. Oh, apparently those are the only 2 that I got. So I've got Spirit Talker, which is that one. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, when I discovered that all I had to do was shake my phone and it started spitting words out at me, like, it was, to me, that was just a joke. I was like, what? Like, if that's all it takes, you literally have to just and if you set your phone down and leave it and, like, don't have have it in airplane mode, don't have it near any Wi-Fi, like, no Wi-Fi, okay? The thing won't, like, talk, like, hardly at all. But yeah, I hit the power button, and this is Spirit Talker. And I'll just start. Mental, thank you. I know I'm mental. I said I'm going to play the video, and here I am using the ghost apps. Sorry. I'm getting there. Tell me a story, Spirit Talker. Oh, it said Pat.
We're at peace.
We're at peace, it says. You're at peace, huh? Well, that's nice to know. Just shake it like an 8-ball. We'll see if I can get any more to spit out before I stop here. Without breaking my phone. evil. Well, I'm done. I've had enough of you. I'm out. Tell me you're evil. Give me that. Jeez. Okay. So anyways, point made. Like, okay, yeah, we were using the necrometer here, experimenting with it, but I am fully aware that these applications, like, all you have to do is hold your phone, move it around, and it starts spitting words out, and it's very randomized. If it like, in my opinion, personal opinion, if it correlates with the location, it feels purely coincidental. It really does. And there's a lot of words that your mind can just put a pattern together and make sense of it to connect to that specific location or time frame or person or whatever it be. So we shall continue.
Up here?
I'm gonna go under and see if I can get anything on here as well while you're.
So just keep on asking questions, just like normal.
Yeah.
Okay. Has anyone died in this room?
So for those of you that don't know the assist method, I'm using the SP7 box as a spirit box, and I'm doing.
I hear music. Is that your spirit box? Oh, it wasn't.
Oh, why?
That was old music.
God.
I heard that. Whoa.
This thing is sweeping right now. And it is playing old music. No way.
That's like old opera house music. It's doing that while it's sweeping.
Garth, it's dead.
What?
It's dead.
Did you drain the batteries in the...
Okay. So, I got so excited. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I never had this spirit box do that before. It was so weird to me. And I think at one point I made a comment like old opera music. Like, I couldn't think of, I was like, what is this? What am I hearing? And you hear it, like the music plays for a moment, and then you hear the that's the 100 millisecond sweep that I always set my spirit box to, because I don't want full-on words coming through, as this is how this experiment is supposed to work. I'm not supposed to be setting it to 350 at the slowest setting for more words to come through. I want it at the fastest sweep, preventing the radio to have time to spit words in or to spit music in. So it was really strange to me that music all of a sudden was playing like that, and then it went to the sweeping, and then the music came back, and then it went to sweeping, and then the music came back again, and then when I went to unplug it, because I was shocked, and I'm like, okay, I gotta unplug this because I'm getting this on camera. So I unplugged it, and then it just died 2 seconds after I did that. And I sat here, I thought about this. I'm like, how on earth could this happen? I've never had this happen on the Spirit Box before. Of all the years that I have attempted the Estes method to communicate and get words coming through and try this form of communicating for an experiment, not claiming, I'm not stating that this is a true method that I'm actually speaking to a spirit from the other side, but it is an experiment. It's a theory that you can do this. That's the point of it, as an experiment. It's not proof that it's paranormal. It's an experiment. But to get that music to come through, I was so confused by it. I've never had that happen. Why did that happen? So I told him, I'm like, the only thing that would remotely make sense to me is if somehow, some way, somebody has music on, and I don't know how this stuff works, so don't quote me, but just theorizing, what if someone does have like old music from the early 1900s just on constant replay somewhere, and all of a sudden that music is and it's sending off like this radio signal, and it's interfering. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. The best example that I can use is when I was a kid. I remember being on the phone and talking to somebody, and my next door neighbor had the same exact phones as we did at that time frame. And next thing I know, I hear my next door neighbor coming through the line and talking. And I go, hello? Hello? Can you hear me? And the person I'm talking to is like, yeah, I can hear you. I'm like, can you hear my neighbor? I can hear my neighbor talking. And they're like, no, I can't hear your neighbor talking at all. My neighbor couldn't hear me talking, but I could hear her talking, and I could pick up on bits and pieces of her conversation. So it was some kind of a weird interference because we had the same types of phones. So the best theory I could come up with for this as a logical explanation is it possible that somebody had music set up somewhere, playing old music on some kind of a radio station, and pushing for this interference frequency? I don't know. My brain don't get that big. It's not that, it don't go that far. That's why I'm looking for help on this. Someone that would actually know more about that stuff. Because as far as I'm concerned, from the people that I've been around, like, and the devices that they use, like, from what I see when it comes to using these devices for paranormal experiments, I don't think knowledge exceeds beyond that. Like what they already know from like what your popular paranormal investigators have explained, or like the people that are selling the stuff have explained. I've learned more from debunkers like Kenny Biddle or Beardo or Side-Eye Guy, even Mr. Gray. Who's a couple others that I can name that I've learned from? I've definitely, my favorite one, John Wolfe is another favorite one of mine, who has also like showed me some methods of debunking. Like, I've learned so much from these guys that gave me honest explanations, logical explanations, that now I'm able to start spotting things a little bit better and go, oh, that's what that was. Now I can see it. And it makes me feel a little silly at first, thinking, oh my God, this whole time I was thinking that was paranormal. But at the same time, I don't feel that silly about it. Like, I also feel like it's kind of cool that I learned something new. Like, I learned something out of this. And that's part of the fun of being a part of the paranormal field, is you're learning. Like, you're out there seeking the truth. You're not in it for, I'm not in it for the magic, for the spooks and the scares. Me personally, I am not in it for that. I want the truth. I want to learn. I want to explore. I just want to know those answers. And I don't want to be fooled into another, like, magician's trick. Like, I don't want that. I want some kind of an explanation. And if there is no explanation at the end of the day to something that is unexplainable, that's what makes it paranormal. That is the point of paranormal, is it is outside of the norm. And it's crucial to know that, because there is so many things that happen that's just a part of the norm, and people are marking it up as all of that as paranormal when it's not. And I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan. So anyway, back to this. That moment really stumped me. It really got me. And like I stated, like, I have my theory of like what a possible logical explanation could be, but my brain doesn't exceed past that concept. I can't deep dive into like how that would work. I would need somebody to be able to explain that to me of how that could work. And if that were the case, does that mean someone was deliberately setting this up for that sort of interference? And that could lead into, you know, bigger things outside of my realm that could be really bad. So my biggest thing is I want to know on this right here. The rest of the video is I basically go ahead, like I change the batteries. I could play it, or you could go watch it for yourself. I change the batteries and I go into the Estes session. I get a weird feeling. The necrometer goes off. We go in. Should I play it? I definitely want that answered. So I'll play a little bit of that one more time. And then, you know what? For shits and giggles, let's just play through the rest of it and watch how silly I am. Because okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Surprise music.
Spiritbox?
Oh, hold on. See, you hear it sweeping.
Box is a spirit box, and I'm doing.
I hear music. Is that your spirit box? Oh, it was.
Oh my.
That was old music.
God.
I heard that. Whoa.
Why is it so pixelated? Is it because I got blown up?
This thing is sweeping right now. And it is playing old music.
Like, it just makes me
No.
wonder, because I do turn to the left, and it, like, goes back into the music again. It's a weird interference.
It's doing that while it's sweeping.
Garth, it's dead.
What?
It's dead.
Did you drain the batteries in the spirit
That,
box?
this has never happened on a spirit box
Did
before.
you put new batteries in that before we started?
Yes,
I'm wearing my Naruto hoodie.
The spirit box, okay, it was sweeping. It was sweeping. When it's going, that means it is sweeping, and it had music playing through the sweeps, old opera music.
I said
And now
opera.
it's dead.
I don't think that was opera music.
Several.
Wow.
My nose is running.
Okay, so I go ahead and cut the video and just go ahead and move into the Estes session at this point.
Up here.
It's so pixelated, though.
Result.
Result.
Human.
Human.
Well, I just heard like weird trumpet horns
1970s.
for few seconds.
1970s. Wow.
So again, I even point out that, like, I'm
How
hearing...
often did you come to the speakeasy?
So again, I even point out the fact that I'm hearing, like, trumpets, which is not something that you hear a whole heck of a lot on any radio station today. You're not hearing, well, even like the music that played a little bit ago, you don't hear that on your normal radio stations. That's that's definitely older classical music. That just, you don't hear that stuff. So I don't know. It's a little odd.
Were you involved in bootlegging?
A lot of people were involved in bootlegging.
Something just fell.
I got a voice that said observe.
It was a cigar. It just got knocked off the counter here.
See, that's something that, and the camera didn't get it. He was pretty disappointed that the camera was zoomed in and not zoomed out. You hear it fall, and you even see me kind of like do this like slide motion. I was under, so it's not like I can be a witness to any of that.
Do you want this cigar?
Do you want this cigar? They're like, yes, give me the cigar. I need it now. You don't understand the amount of people that come in here every single night. I need the cigar now.
Do you want this cigar?
I still didn't back it up enough. It's so weird. Like, right as I do like this weird motion, so the counter that he's talking about is actually an entertainment center off to the right hand side here. Just like one of your older entertainment centers that you could fit a box TV in, and the cigar was setting up there, and basically what he said, like, it fell off. He watched it fall off, but it's not like it launched off or anything. Like, don't know if it was slightly hanging off a little bit. He was standing there asking questions, and who knows, maybe there's like this weird thing of like, maybe when I moved the way I did, and maybe the flooring with him caused that cigar to fall off and hit the floor. I mean, it could easily be explained.
Something just fell.
I got a voice that said observe.
It was a cigar. It just got knocked off the counter here. Do you want this cigar?
Obviously, you can't see the cigar fall. You just hear it.
You can have it if you want it. I'll set it right here on the coffee table for you.
Not likely.
Not likely. Why is it not likely? Are you touching me?
Vessel.
Vessel.
Baron.
Barroom. Barroom. I gotta blow my nose. My nose is running.
Multiple spirits.
Multiple spirits.
Left side.
Sorry.
There's a few times I went into like a rush. You know, like when you get butterflies.
Yeah, we got some really good activity.
So right there I mentioned it, but like there was a couple times I went into a rush, like when you get butterflies. So that's clearly why I did the weird thing that I did, is like it must have felt like a rush, almost like when you're going down hills too fast. And more than likely being under, like I was, when you have that static, that white noise playing in your ears. Usually doing these sessions, I'm usually under like for a good 30 minutes. So like you're seeing a very small window of responses when it's like a 30-minute session, because it's lengthy and it can be quite boring, and there may be absolutely nothing that comes through, and you're only just showing the moments that anything came through.
I think I was getting touched too, but I didn't call it out like that.
Knocked the cigar off the counter up there.
Are you serious?
And we got some really good, intelligent responses.
From the necro?
My nose is running like crazy. So, with the micrometer, my arm got cold.
Yeah.
And
So did mine.
I said, my arm just got really cold. I said, are you touching me? And I said, vessel.
My arm got cold right here.
I said, vessel? And I said, bar.
What?
Yep.
Vessel barroom?
Uh,
Vessel barroom.
Yeah, with the responses that come through the phone app, like I'm just don't know what to make of it, really. Like, sure, they're interesting, and anymore I've watched enough on it to go, yeah, it's all mostly coincidental, but it's very repetitive. And I've noticed, like, I've messed with the apps enough that when I watch other people use it, it'll spit out a lot of the same things, almost in a similar pattern rotation. So I found that to be interesting. But I mostly think that the applications is just a purely coincidental thing. And when you're holding your phone and you're asking questions and you're moving around, the applications are spitting out answers more often. If you leave it setting still and you don't have any kind of a Wi-Fi signal to your phone, you put it in airplane mode, it gets pretty stagnant, almost like you never turned it on. It might spit out maybe a few responses, but barely anything. So as far as experimenting with the applications go, I'm pretty much over it, done with it. I don't believe it. The Spiritbox still, the cigar itself, like clearly we can't see it fall, right? We can only hear it fall. We can see where he's standing, kind of. It's pretty distorted and pixelated. And that's just because right now you're watching a recording of a recording, so it's going to be pretty pixelated. It's blown up. When I minimize it, it's not near as pixelated, but it's still pretty pixelated. So you're not getting the full picture. It's just, it's not enough. And this is why, like, moving forward, I stopped caring for doing so much of the night vision stuff, because it is so much pixelation. Like, if we're going to capture something moving, I want more light. I want more light source on it. Ghost orbs, it's always dust particles. Something that it's just something capturing the reflection of light right in front of a camera lens. So there's been times, like even in a past video of mine, that I point out, like, oh my gosh, there's this weird orb that goes by. Well, it turns out that's just dust. It's dust. As good old Jason Haas would say, it's dust. His frustration, it better not be another orb. I miss those episodes where he's like, man, it better not be another orb. It's not. It's not. Anyway, yeah, so going back, you can find this video on my channel, Old Baraboo and SB7 Box Plays Old Tune. If anybody can give, like, their thoughts on it, I would love to hear it. It's very interesting. It's different. It's not something I've heard usually come through on the SB7 box. What's your take on that? And does anybody else, like, can you give me something more logical to, like, are you able to deep dive and explain to me, like, how something like that could interfere and cross over? Like, what could cause that? I would greatly appreciate that. Because in all honesty, that's basically where my mindset is right now, is it has to be somebody playing that music on some kind of a station and it's just interfering through. It has to be, right? Has to be. I don't know. Anyway, tell me what y'all think. So, yeah. Guess I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Ta-ta for now. Bye!